Everyone, and welcome back to Make Our World Your Runway. And I do want to say to all our listeners, Happy New Year. We took a little bit of a break last week because everybody was on holiday, but now we're back to start 2023. And can you believe it is already 2023? Well, let's face it, where is time going? We have a fabulous guest today. We are going to be doing something a little bit different, but as always, we like to make a few announcements. And we want to tell everyone to remember to subscribe to the Global Trade Chamber YouTube channel so that you can view all the shows from Make Our World Your Runway and also Success Stories, which is produced by the Global Trade Chamber. Now, I highly recommend tuning into Success Stories because you are going to hear the stories of some amazing women in the world of business and community service. So definitely make sure that you tune into that. Okay. And volume 2 of the 100 Most Successful Women in Business book is now available on Amazon. Again, I highly recommend getting your copy today. This best-selling book highlights some of the amazing accomplishments of women in business and community service from around the world. If you are a successful woman, you want to order your copy today. And as a matter of fact, the second book was done in London, England. I was there this past August. It was absolutely amazing. I have personally met some of these women. So again, highly pick up a copy of that book. You can get it on Amazon. You will not want to put it down from beginning to end. And March the 2nd, 100 Successful Women in Business. They're going to be hosting one of the largest Women in Business Expo for International Women's Month. That is one event you do not want to miss. It will take place at the DoubleTree Hotel in Miami. So to learn more about this and on this exciting event and how to attend, because it is a free event and you can sign up, go to their website at www.100swb for all the details. I'm sorry again, www.100swb.com for all the details. They're also looking for speakers for the event. So this would be a great opportunity if you want to get the word out for your business or anything that you've done in community service. This is a small business expo, but it gets highly attended by many individuals in business. So a great opportunity for you to promote your company. So ladies and gentlemen, as always, that's our announcements. And now on to the show. But before I introduce my guest, we would like to take a few minutes to give you some beauty tips, which we've been doing lately. And as many of you know, I was in the cosmetic industry for over 30 years, and I worked for some of the top cosmetic companies and also some of the top retail doors like Bergdorf Goodman, Neiman Marcus, and also Nordstrom. But today I'd like to introduce you to 𝐏𝐸𝐺𝐸. Okay, now this was developed by our Miss International Laura Petite, Britt Ovanovsky. She has a fabulous line of complete cosmetics, and today I'd like to introduce you to two of them. One of them right here, okay, if you can see it, I'm holding it up, okay. It happens to be, okay, that happens to be her face powder, but you can also use it as a blush, and you can also use it as an overall makeup. It is absolutely fantastic. If you notice, I do have it on, okay? It is great. It's wonderful. It goes on easy. It won't streak, okay? Like you happen to get some of these powders that do that. This is amazing. Another product, and you can see I have it on, is her lipstick. I don't know if you could see me holding this up, okay? But it's a lipstick, and it's also a lip gloss on the other side. Now, working in the cosmetic industry, I can tell you that a lot of makeups out there and even lip liners, okay, they do bleed. This does not bleed at all. You could drink, you could eat, and this lipstick is going to stay on. So I highly recommend these products to anyone that's out there. They are so competitive with department store cosmetics and moderately priced. That's the thing about this. So if you'd like further information, okay, on these products, we can tell you how to get in touch with Britt. Email us at msintlworld@aol.com. I will personally get your email, and I will refer you over to Britt Ovanovsky, and she will tell you all about 𝐏𝐸𝐺𝐸 Cosmetics. Highly recommend it. Like I said, it could really stand up to the test of time of these fabulous, okay, industry cosmetics and anything that is sold in the top retail doors. And what's great about that is that Britt would be your personal consultant. So if you just want to order online or have someone there to explain the products, It's even better than going to the stores. And trust me, I know a lot about that. But anyway, and now on to our guest. And I think as many of you know that we do feature individuals, okay, from the industry, which happens to be the pageant, modeling, fashion, business, and we've even gone to the entertainment industry. But today we're going to enter the world of fantasy, beauty, and business combined. This is going to be very exciting, something different, and you're going to love our guest. And first of all, she is the president, okay, of Carson Marketing and the vice president of Carruth Foundation. That's a certified business protocol and etiquette professional. She is author of the trademark series, The World's First Tooth Fairy. And she holds the copyright of the first animated Tooth Fairy influencer. Okay. And she was also honored by ABC's Channel 13, Women of Distinction, Women Who Mean Business, Top Impact Maker, and St. Jude Children's Research Hospital of Philanthropy. She and her husband were awarded the Houston Treasure Award for their philanthropic work. That is absolutely amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome to Make Our World Your Runway, Zane Carson Carruth. Welcome, Zane.
Well, hi. How are you?
I'm
very happy to be here.
That is, I'll tell you, I was so impressed. You know, I went on Facebook and I happened to make my little notes on the Tooth Fairy. I love her. Okay. She is great. I mean, she's almost like a human person. And
yes.
when I was looking at it and it was Veterans Day. Okay. And she said about the troops. I said, oh my God, this little Tooth Fairy is absolutely amazing because she's into everything.
Yes, she's a pistol. She definitely has a personality, and that comes across in the books. And anyway, it's been a great adventure writing about her. I've kind of patterned her after my daughter. So that's made it easy because, you know, when you have strong personalities in females, it's fun to portray that. It's just fun to put that on paper.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's fun to put that. And that's something that you patent her after your daughter. That's absolutely great. Because you know what? There's kind of a camaraderie there and there's kind of a love there. So you were able to portray that, okay, in the Tooth Fairy. I just love her. I just, you know, when I was looking at her, I just wanted to hug her and kiss her. And I was going to ask you, have they made a stuffed animal or a doll about her yet? Because if there is, I'll be the first one to buy it.
Not yet, but I expect that to happen. I have great expectations. They just shot a pilot of my books. The guy who produced the movie, the TV show, Thomas the Tank Engine, produced the pilot, and then a Grammy winner wrote a song called Winging It, and that's coming out too. So we've got some good people on the team. We just have to get it picked up somewhere. But when that happens, yes, I do believe there'll be some merchandising out there. Opportunities for sure.
Merchandising is great. And you know what impressed me is that you were involved with St. Jude's research. Okay. And I've donated a lot of money to St. Jude's because, you know, I look at those little children and I say to myself, I'm a big advocate for children and animals. That's a very soft spot with me.
Yes.
Okay. And, you know, I always say no one should have to suffer. But little children, you know, when you see these pictures of them and they're coming in with cancer, and it just breaks my heart. You know, some of them are not even 6 months old. And, you know, the older ones understand a little bit when they're that age. Okay. And, you know, that's why I brought up about merchandise, because when people go in there at Christmas and they get these little stuffed animals or dolls, their eyes light up and it makes a whole difference in the world. You know, and I've read the whole story on St. Jude's, and, you know, of course, the former actor Danny Thomas to start an organization like that. And of course, his daughter, Marlo Thomas, has been continuing on with the work of her father. And one of the things I like about St. Jude, and I think this needs to be done around the world, no one should have to pay for health care. Okay, you've got so many. I'm a big proponent of that. You've got so many people out there that don't have health care, and health care should not be a privilege. It should be a right, because you never know today or tomorrow what's going to come about. You know, I always say to my husband,
that's the beauty of St. Jude's. Yes,
that is the beauty of St. Jude's,
that
because those people don't get a bill.
No. And I love their marketing strategy. You can go into certain stores, and some months you can donate directly to St. Jude's. I think that is brilliant. I've seen that with Brooks Brothers does that, and quite a few of those big stores do that. And I think that was smart, whoever came up with that, because people want to donate. They want to help.
Exactly. They do want to help. You know, you could do so much on a monthly basis. I do so much every 3 months. I do a donation to them. But you're right. There are a lot of big organizations. I know that Neiman Marcus does that. Nordstrom does that. My husband's with AutoNation. They also do that. And that's a great way to keep those organizations going. Okay.
Well, yeah, because every transaction they get an opportunity to get more money from somebody. And I just think it's a very easy way to donate and to give to causes like that.
Well, you got to send the Tooth Fairy over there, because she's great.
I would love to go read my books at one of those hospitals. I think that would be tremendous. And I'm happy to donate books too. I donate a ton of books. So I'm all up on that.
Great. Yeah, that's really good, because you know what? Like I say, just looking at her, and especially with the way things are going on in the world today, when you look at the Tooth Fairy, I got a smile on my face. I said, you know what? She is a breath of fresh air with everything that's going on in the world today.
It's innocence. We need more innocence for these children. And that's what she is. And the Tooth Fairy tradition is recognized worldwide. I mean, a lot of countries have different traditions, but it's always, there's something about the tooth under the pillow or on the roof or whatever.
Exactly.
Everybody celebrates that passage.
Exactly. You know what? She should be in a dentist office, because when I had a tooth pulled just recently, okay, they put an implant in that spot. But I'm like, you know what? She'd be a great inspiration to wake up to. Okay.
Well, yes, yeah, because what's nice about Abella is she makes mistakes, but she owns up to them. And her best friend Darcy never kicks her when she's down. She goes, "Oh, just apologize. It'll be fine." So there's a lot to learn from these little books about friendships and kindness. And, you know, we all goof up. We all make mistakes.
Exactly. We all make mistakes. And that's what I like about her, because she's almost like a real person. Okay. Yes. She makes mistakes, but she's there to inspire people. She's got a smile on her face. She's there to pick people up. And you know, when I really read this and I looked into it, I said, you know what? It's not just for children. It's for adults, because I always say there's a little bit of a kid in everybody. All right. It doesn't matter what age you are. You know, at Christmas time, you got to see me. I'm watching all the kids shows. Okay. Because I love it. You know, I was watching 2 weeks ago, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, the Muppets Christmas Carol. And I said, you know what? Sometimes if you're down and you watch something like that, it brings back memories of when I was a child, but it also reminds me of that. And something important that I always try to think of: never forget where you came from, or your humble beginnings.
Right. Yes.
And that's what she did for me. I said, you know what? I was a kid growing up in a neighborhood with other kids. And, you know, we had a lot of kid stories, and there were a lot of things, but not quite as animated as this. Today, some of the animation, I have to admit, I think is way above and beyond. Okay, with some of these young children can comprehend. But she's right there.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay. She's intelligent, yet at the same time, she can appeal to, if a 3-year-old was looking at her, they'd have a smile on their face. Okay. And my mother saw it. My mother saw it, and she's 92, and she said, "She's beautiful." I said, "Isn't she?"
Well, I like hearing that. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't change. Somebody asked me, why does she always wear the same dress? It's like, I don't know. She just doesn't. I don't want things to change too much in life. Things change enough. I want
Exactly.
Abella to be the same. And they said, well, when is she going to date? It's like, oh my God, she's never going to date. she's just little Abella. Nothing is going to change with that.
Is it Abella or Annabella is her name?
It's Abella.
Abella.
A-B-E.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Abella. Yes.
No,
And her
Abella is
best friend,
precious.
yes, her best friend's Darcy.
Right, exactly. And Abella does not need to change. She just has to stay the
No.
way she is, okay?
Yes. Yes.
Taking that little magic wand and going over somebody's head and just waking up to something like that. And, you know, the other day when I was a little down on something and I said, you know what? I'm going to look at her. And I brought her up on Facebook and I said, she just made my day. Okay?
Really? Well, thank you for sharing that. That makes me happy to hear.
Yeah,
Thank you.
she made my day. And you know, when our mutual friend Adrian told me about this, and I was like, I got to look into this. Okay. I said, because, you know, normally when you interview people that have written books, they've written books about history or politics or something like this. But this was so different. Okay. And I just had a very good friend of mine, Yvonne Salas, who just wrote a book called Etiquette for Children.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, and I was a little impressed with it. And I went to her book signing. And believe it or not, she's gone into schools where there have been underprivileged children. And she's even taken gangs, kids that belong to gangs, and actually retrained them in etiquette.
That
I
is
was,
invaluable.
I was amazed at this because I said, Yvonne, you realize where you're going. I said, in a world of gangs, she said, there's a way of talking to children. And she
Well,
said,
and
we
it's
got
life changing. Having
exactly.
etiquette when you're young, it gives you confidence. You can, because you're going to be in a ton of situations you don't know what to expect. But if you know how to speak properly, table manners, just a few things that just elevates your confidence level so much. And that's what kids
Exactly.
need. We all need that.
Right, exactly. And that's when I looked at Abella. I said, "Oh my God, she's great." Okay, and you know, when a few people looked at it, I said, "Don't look at it just for younger children. Look at it with a different perspective." Okay, open your mind. I said because this is, believe it or not, it's just not for children. We have to take a break sometimes from where we are, and if you're going to go into fantasy, sometimes that's the way to go because now you're looking at something
Exactly.
that makes you happy. You're looking at something that's different. Okay. And after you look at it, you go
Yeah.
back to what you were doing with a better perspective. Okay.
Mhm.
And you know what you've just done and what my friend Yvonne did, okay, with this etiquette book, we need more things like that. Okay. There's just too much chaos going on in the world. All right.
Well, and I
And
think the world's ready for that. Society
it
is
is.
ready to move back into more of an innocent phase for people's lives, children's lives, adults' lives.
Exactly. It really is, okay? Because, you know, one of the things that the actor Morgan Freeman said that stuck out in my mind, he said, just because I disagree with you does not mean you're my enemy. And
Yes.
I love that because look, my husband and I disagree sometimes on a daily basis, but it doesn't mean I hate him, okay? It's just that we have a difference of opinion. 9 times out of 10, we're normally on the same wavelength, but there's that, I always say, okay, he's a Gemini, so he's got a little bit of a dual personality, but I'm the worst. I'm a Scorpio. There's no
Oh,
living
God.
with a Scorpio. But there's a fallacy about that too. Believe it or not, Scorpions have the biggest heart in the world. We're givers.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Just don't get us mad because then the sting comes out. That's all. That's
Yes.
what I tell people. You don't want to see that side of me. Okay. I've controlled it a lot better than I did in my younger day. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Thank goodness, huh?
yeah, exactly. But if you read up on Scorpio, yeah, I'm a true Scorpio and I'm on the cusp. A lot of people say, well, you have some Sagittarius in you. I said, no, I don't. I said, the Sagittarius is a little milder than the Scorpion. I said, but if you read up on it, I know I'm right there. So And when I was watching Gladiator last night, which happens to be one of my favorite movies, and you wouldn't think that's a woman would look at that kind of movie about gladiators. But Russell Crowe said something in there in the beginning of the movie that also made me think. He said, "What you do in life echoes in eternity," and it does.
Wow.
Okay,
That's, yeah,
something,
that,
something
yeah.
that you're doing. Okay, a Bella will go on forever. So it's going to echo in eternity, and people like you are adding to society. Okay, which I think happens to be fantastic. Okay. And I love things like this. All right. That's why when Adrian wanted me to interview you, I said, "Oh, absolutely." I said, because it's so different. Okay. And you can still cross the line of fantasy and still be on the business side. And that's what I love about it.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. I
Yeah,
think that even helps. It helps you be more imaginative and think outside the box.
it does. And you've done something so different, and you probably heard some of my announcements before. You should really check into 100 Successful Women in Business. I think
I
you'd be
gotta
perfect
look
for
into
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely look into that. The email happens to be not the email, but the website www.100swb.com.
Okay.
Uh, they are also the
Write that
producers.
down.
They work with the Global Trade Chamber and 100 Successful Women in Business. They partner off one another. They're also the producers of Make Our World Your Runway. But it is a fabulous organization. I was with them in London, England this past August. There were 100 women from around the world that came in to be recognized. And
Oh
just
my
like yourself,
goodness.
they have unbelievable stories. These are women, okay, that came from very, very humble beginnings. All right. I mean, some of them lived in cars and all of a sudden
Hmm.
started businesses and became millionaires. And some of the things that they've done in community service. They have one woman, okay, which is absolutely amazing. She today now owns 9 McDonald's and has
Wow.
a, yeah, 9
That's
McDonald's. Started with
impressive.
one. Yeah, owns
Yes.
9 of them and actually gives scholarships to underprivileged children.
Oh, I
Okay.
love that. I
Yeah.
love
And
that.
yeah, her name is Maya. Unbelievable. Um, I interviewed another woman 2 weeks ago before we took our break. Okay. And Latina Ruggiero, she is in the Detroit area, but she started a program through real estate where she flips homes and actually gets people to put up the money to give to domestic violence victims.
Oh
And I think,
goodness. That's
yeah,
a wonderful cause to help with
right.
that.
And now she's going to be working on a program to do affordable housing for seniors around the entire country. So these are the type women that have been featured in this book. You can get the book on Amazon. This is volume 2. I was in volume 1. This is in volume 2, and it is called "The 100 Most Successful Women in Business."
Okay. Yeah.
I I'm telling you, Zane, when you get that book, you will not put it down from cover to end. It's unbelievable.
I'm gonna get that as soon as we hang up. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I love things like that. It's very motivating.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you should definitely be part of that. You'd be perfect for this, for what you're doing. You're different. It's an inspiration. A lot of these women have children, and it's a great way to get a Bella out there.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna definitely check into that and see what I can do about joining if there's a way to join or something.
Now, you did say something about Theater Under the Stars, okay? And you also served as the first lady of the rodeo for the 2020-2023 season.
Yes.
Uh, that kind of sparks my interest because I think I did tell you we have something in common. Um, I went to the Juilliard. I'm opera trained. Okay.
Oh my goodness. That's
Yep,
impressive.
I'm 10
Goodness.
years opera trained. And I think one of the best door openers for me was, and this is funny, this is how they say opportunity knocks in certain areas. I went on an audition for Disney World. I lived in Jersey, but of course, New York City was my playground. I was like right there. And the producer there that day said to me, he said, "You have the most gorgeous voice I ever heard, but you're just not
Oh,
what we're looking for today? And I'm like, well, what are you looking for? Well, I let that go because that's how auditions are. Okay. I went outside and a friend of mine says, hey, they're looking for understudies for Sarah Brighton. He said, Sarah, they're going to be doing an East Coast tour of Phantom of the Opera.
You
I
gotta
said,
be
yeah.
kidding.
No. I said, yeah, right. Me, forget it. He said, no, I'm telling you. He said, I got a good feeling. He said, go over there. He said, you're about 2 blocks away. I said, oh, there's probably a line out the door. He said, Angela, stand on that line. I have a funny feeling about this. I said, okay.
Wow.
I stood on line for about an hour and a half. Went in. I sang 16 bars of All I Ask of You. By the time I got home, my phone was ringing, and they said,
You're kidding.
I was the understudy. Okay.
That is wonderful.
Sarah Brighton did not want to do the tour. She had done Phantom for like 5 years. She had been doing, matinees. She was in England. Then she came to Broadway. She was doing the matinees, the evening shows. They were going to do an East Coast tour. She didn't want to do it. She just wanted to take a break, which you couldn't blame her. I did the East Coast tour of Phantom of the Opera.
Did you really?
Yeah, I played the part of Christine 𝐏𝐬𝐿. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I've seen that play so many times in so many different big cities. It's always been one of my favorite. Well, that's a wonderful accomplishment.
It was. I thank you for that. It really was. We played from Maine, right straight down to Florida. It was the easiest job I ever had. I worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I didn't care. Okay, I loved it. A gentleman by the name of Posillico played the Phantom. It was absolutely amazing. Okay,
it was a dream come true, I'll bet.
Yeah, it was. I would probably say of everything that I've done, including now owning the Miss International World and the Miss Latina International pageant, but that was the highlight, of my career, because who would ever thought that I would be able to take the East Coast tour and do this? I was like, there's no way. I said, nobody's going to listen to me. And I listened to a friend of mine, and there it was. Okay. And I was finally able to do that. But in that business, you just never know. Okay. You can go and audition.
Fate plays such a huge role in people's lives if they're open to it. I mean, you had to be open to it to go stand in line and accept the challenge, but you do have to be open to it.
Well, now we got to make a Bella sing the opera. That's another thing.
Yes, that little Bella probably could.
Yeah, she probably could. It looks like she can almost do anything. I was so impressed with her. I said, this girl's right up my alley. I said, she can do everything. Well, if I'll give you a little idea.
Okay.
If you want to do something different,
Yeah.
I just said I own the pageant. And we'd love to have a little mascot. So if you ever want to put a little crown and a sash on Bella, we could definitely work that out.
I have a graphics lady who can do that.
Oh, that would be great because you know what? We'd put her in our yearly program book and say, guess what?
Adrian's team can do that. She's got an incredible graphics lady. Okay.
Yeah, she does.
I accept that. You can't back out.
She does. And we could say, look at this. Bella became a little pageant girl, okay?
Oh,
and wishing everybody great success.
Yes.
I gotta tell Adrian that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna write that down.
Write that down. She would be fabulous.
Oh yeah, there's nothing more fun than that. And there's nothing more girly because Bella's very girly girl. But
yeah, she is. She's very girly. That's what I loved about her. I said her hair, her makeup, she was just she just really was unbelievable. Okay.
Well, she accepts your challenge request. Yeah, she'll be your little mascot.
Oh, we love it. Oh yeah, to be the little mascot, she would be great. I mean, we could even feature her on our website where she's just there and she's wishing everybody well. Yeah, it would be great because I'll tell you why. We do have a little Miss International World. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. And they're below teenage age. Okay. Viola, Viola Rose right now is our little Miss International World. She is adorable. And here's the funniest thing. I think she's maybe about 9 or 10 years old, and she just got accepted into the junior opera.
Oh my word. That is
Yeah,
wonderful. She must have
she
an
just
incredible
got,
voice. Yes.
yeah. I mean, this is, and her mother owns VIP Pageantry, which promotes pageants around the world. Her mother right now is at the Mrs. Earth pageant, be going to Miss Universe next week. And she also
Yes.
partners with us. So I mean, this would just be amazing. Okay. This would
I
really
think
be
that's
great.
great. Yes. I think that's wonderful. So it's a good partnership.
Yes, it is a great partnership. That's why when Adrian told me about this, I said, "Oh my God, this is refreshing. This is a brand new idea." I said, "We need something like this." And I love it because, as I said, with all the craziness that's going on in the world today, you
Oh,
definitely need to have
absolutely.
something like this.
We
Yeah.
do. Yes. Because I know when I was picking out my interviewing people for my illustrator, I had a hard time finding someone that just did cute things. Everything else was that, that ugly fighting stuff. I don't even know what it's even called, but those characters that are so dark and dreary.
Yeah,
But
kung fu fighting. I've even seen cartoons like that, and that's the reason why I kind of like the superheroes, because the superhero movies have kept it more where kids could appreciate it. Okay,
yes, yes,
when Robert Downey Jr. gets out there and he does Iron Man, and when
yes.
one kid got very sick and he went to the house and he says, "You're getting a visit from Iron Man," and things like that, because a lot of that dark stuff, and you don't want to get the kids involved with that, because that
No, it's
leads.
gone too far and for too long. It's
Right.
gone on way too long.
Exactly. People laugh. I said, you know what I do on Saturday mornings? I put on the Me TV channel, and I'm from 7 o'clock till 10. I'm watching cartoons. Now,
Yes.
Bugs Bunny is still my favorite. He's crazy, but he's still my favorite. And
Oh, who
people say,
doesn't love Bugs Bunny? Yes.
yeah. People say to me, "What? At your age?" I said, "Don't laugh." I said, "I'll watch Bugs Bunny till the day I die." I said, "He's funny." I said, "He takes my mind off of things." And they said, "Well, he's got the Tasmanian devil." I said, "Yeah, but the Tasmanian devil's still, he's stupid. He's funny." I
Yeah.
said, "But
Yes. Yes.
you look at some of this dark stuff that they're doing for kids
Mm.
today." Okay. I
Yeah.
said,
It's not
"It's
good
not
for them.
good."
It's very harmful mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's just harmful in so many ways. Yeah. So
Right.
I'm glad we're on the same page that we just need to bring innocence back to children and to society.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said, between yourself and my friend Yvonne Salas, when she wrote that book about etiquette for children, and she made her speech at her event when she turned around and she said that, you know what? She said, "You just have to talk to children." Okay, she said, and which reminded me of the book that Hillary Clinton wrote, "It Takes a Village to Raise Children."
Yes.
And it
Yes.
does. And I always say to
Absolutely.
people, whether you
Yes.
liked her or not, has nothing to do with politics. I said, read that book. It Takes a
Yes.
Village to
Yes.
Raise Children. And
Yes.
that's where, and when Yvonne came out with this book, Etiquette for Children, and when she said to me, some of these schools she was going to, I said, "Yvonne, you sure you don't want me as a bodyguard?" Because I said, "I worked in New York City. I rode the subways. I know a little bit about karate." She's, "No, no, no, I'll be fine." And amazing how she's actually turned these children. It's amazing what she had a meeting out of the palm of her hands. Okay. And
I don't doubt that for one bit. I just think that's wonderful.
yeah, and you've basically done the same thing, because again, you get small children that see things like that. Like, I was in the mall during Christmas time, and I was watching little children go up to Santa Claus and sit on his lap
Yeah.
and take pictures. And you know what? It was so adorable. These
They
children were
need
smiling.
fantasy.
That's
They
why I
need
said.
it.
That's why I introduced you, and I said, today we're gonna go to the world of fantasy and combine it with business and beauty. We all
Ye-
need fantasy. Okay.
Yes,
All have to
absolutely.
whisk away and get into that world of fantasy. Okay.
Well, your
Yes.
imagination is powerful. And you have to be able to promote that in children, to use your imagination. Think outside the box. Just
Right.
explore. Let your mind go.
Exactly. And you just said something that is very, very powerful. Okay. Imagination. All right. Um, People in general today are not using their imagination. And if
No.
and in school, I don't even know because things are so advanced and everything is technology and computers, which is great. But how much imagination are these children even being taught in school today?
No,
And then they
because they're
got
on that machine, look, playing the games, and they're not like we used to play outside, kick the can.
yeah, thank you. Kick
I
the
mean,
can.
just stuff like that.
Right.
Red Rover, and then you'd look to see who has the weakest link, and there you go.
Exactly. And that's why my mother, and like I said, 92 years old, still gets mad at me. She's to me, you lost it. No, I didn't lose it. I said, Mom, being in business, I have to keep up with the technology. She said, yeah,
Yeah,
but you forgot what it was like to be a kid. I said, no, I didn't. 'Cause you
you
see me
still watch
watching.
cartoons.
Yeah. And then she's, well, yeah, I have to give you that. She's just still watching cartoons. But what she's getting at is that there's just not a lot of family time today. And I said, well, Mom, people, families, I said, I see them in Disney World. They're here, they're there. She said, yeah, what around sitting around the dinner table? She's got a point. Years
Well,
ago,
yeah, that's a dying art almost. It really is.
right,
People are so busy. Yes.
exactly. And that's what my mother gets upset about because she said to me, I'm moving ahead with the time. She said, but Angela, she said, people are so busy today. They don't have the chance to sit at a dinner table. She's, remember when you were young? All right, I was an only child. She said, but at 5 o'clock, you, me, and Dad were sitting down at dinner. We had a little,
Exactly.
we had a little TV in the dining room. While we're eating, we'd sit and watch TV, and then the news would come on. She said, you see that today? I said, no, not
They
much.
have too many organized sports for kids. They don't have time for dinner. I
Exactly.
watch my daughter's life, and it's like, oh my gosh, they don't have time for anything other than sports, just two boys in sports. So
Exactly. And
we didn't
that's
have
why,
that growing up. I mean, we
yeah,
had football, but that was all school related.
exactly. And that's why on Sunday night now, one of the oldie stations has brought back Ed Sullivan. I said they should put him
Really?
on, yeah, channel. I have
Oh
it where I
my God.
live, channel 216. It's called Me TV from 10 to 10:30, Ed Sullivan. And it
I
just takes you
didn't.
back in time. Now, my mother
Yes.
sometimes will go to bed a little between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, not on Sunday nights. Oh, yeah, she'll make sure she's up because she's got to watch Ed Sullivan from 10 to 10:30.
Well, yeah, because who doesn't remember seeing the Beatles for the first time on Ed Sullivan? Oh
You
my
just mentioned it.
gosh.
My mother loves the Beatles, and especially when Ed Sullivan does the big band era, and
Yes, yeah.
he's bringing back, all the big bands. Oh my God, she with Glenn Miller, and last week I think, or 2 weeks ago, they had on Sammy Kay, and it was Sammy Kay and the Swinging Soiree. Oh, she went nuts with that. Okay. Oh yeah, she loves all of that.
Oh
So
yeah, Ed Sullivan was great. Sunday nights, yes, that's what we
Sunday
did.
nights,
We watched
it
Ed
can,
Sullivan.
and I think it was Christmas night. They had a 2 week special where he brought on Paul Anka, Johnny Mathis. He had Frank Sinatra. He went all the way back to Louis Prima and Keely Smith. Oh, my mother was in her glory. Okay, she
Oh, I
stayed up.
love that. That made her happy.
Yeah, that did. That made her very, very, very happy. And as I still say, she's going to be 93. God bless her in April. And I tell people, don't laugh because she can still chase me around that pool outside with a broom.
Ah,
When she gets
yes,
mad at me,
sure.
and people think I'm kidding, I said, no. When she gets mad at me, because she lives with me and my husband, that broom comes out. I said, Ma, I'm not a kid. Just, I don't care how old you are.
You'll always be my kid.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's funny. But, you have to respect people when they get to that age because I always say if I can get to that age with all my senses and still have the knowledge, then I beat the system.
Well, yeah, because my mother's 92 and will be 93 in June. And she
God
is
bless
sharp
her.
as the tack. Still has
Yeah.
her little spitfire ways. And
My mother still drives. She can make her own meals. She makes her own bed.
that is
When I was away,
wonderful.
when I was away, I tried to get somebody in to help her. And the first thing they said to me, what are we doing? I said, really, nothing. So I had a personal friend of mine that was an aide that could stay with her because of her age. We just want to make sure
Yeah.
she's not alone. But even the aide said to me, I don't have to do anything. I said, no, all you have to do is sleep. She
Yeah,
said,
you
that
just have
is
to be
unusual.
within hearing distance.
Exactly. I would say the only problem my mother has is she wears her hearing aids. That's it. She just had all her blood work done. They can't find anything wrong with it. Nothing. Nothing
Wow.
wrong with
You
it.
come
Yeah.
from good stock.
Keep my fingers crossed. Keep my fingers crossed. That's because if I can get to that age and I'm beyond that, I said to her, so you're going to live to be 100. She's, no, I'm not. I said, yes, you are. I said, if you can get into
Well,
93.
people do, and she very well could.
Oh, yeah. I was listening because I watch MSNBC in the morning. And one of the reporters they have on, David Ignatius, he flew with his father Christmas time. They were going to see family. His father's 105 years old.
Oh my word. Oh my goodness.
105 years old. Okay. I
Yeah,
was like,
that's
and
old.
they asked him, Joe Scarborough asked him, he says, does your father need any assistance? He says, no. He says, does your father have a walker? He says, no. Your father have
He's
a cane?
Iron Man. Oh my word.
Yeah, that's what they came up with, Iron Man. Yeah. 105 years old. I said, oh my God. And all he said, his father has all his senses, can get on and off a plane like it was no
Well,
tomorrow.
he's Methuselah. Remember in the Bible, Methuselah lived to be 200 or something.
Yeah, and the other day I was reading up about the Romans because I'm Italian and they were in power for 2,000 years. I said, 2,000 years? And my husband says, yeah, no wonder where your stubbornness comes from. I says, well, you're an Italian. He says, yeah. He's, but I'm from the boot. You're right from the heart. I said, it's true. My whole family
Oh,
was from Rome.
that's funny.
Yeah, I said,
That's interesting.
yep, that's where my conquerorship comes from. I said, we just ran over everybody. So,
You're from the boot.
yeah, my husband's from the boot and I'm right from the heart of Rome. So he laughs about that.
Funny. Yeah.
But anyway, what is the future for Abella? I mean, I see great things. I mean, I see this Abella getting an Academy Award.
Well, we hope that she gets picked up by either a TV series to be an influencer or a little TV series. But I have great expectations for that song that Dennis Scott wrote, Winging It. It is so catchy. Once you hear it, it just stays in your head. He's great.
Yes.
He won Grammys. Yeah, Grammys of music. He won Grammys for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. He won all of that. So
Right.
he's
Exactly.
talented.
Yeah, I know. He's very talented. I have heard the name. And speaking of 100 successful women in business, you also have to check out, and it is, that's why I watch MSNBC in the morning. Mika Brzezinski, who co-hosts with Joe Scarborough. She has an organization called Women 50 Over 50. And Randall Lane from Forbes magazine runs this. Let Adrian know about that.
Okay.
I believe they're doing for International Women's Month. They are doing their, if I heard it correctly, I think they're doing their conference in Dubai. Okay, and they've got some very powerful. Yeah, they got some very powerful women
Wow.
that are going to be speaking. But they've got women from all walks of life. They had a woman that they showed on their show, 92 years old. Okay, this really got me. She was struggling. Last year, she went back to being a seamstress and made $1 million.
Oh my word. She must make some fabulous gowns.
Yeah, she makes clothes, gowns, 92 years old. Became a millionaire in a year. I'm like, oh, there's definitely hope.
Wow. Well, she's out of my price range.
Yeah, she's out of my price range too. But I said, whoa, but just to think that it's never too late. That's what this is all about.
No, and it's okay to be a late bloomer. I mean, it's definitely okay to be a late bloomer.
Exactly. But 100 successful women will be great for you because Adrian has worked with the Global Trade Chamber. She's worked with Maria and Al. And I'm telling you, look at their
Okay,
website.
yeah, I've got that written down. I'm going to check into that as soon as we finish
Yeah.
our program.
Whereabouts do you live, Zane?
Houston,
Oh, you're in
Texas.
Houston. I believe they've got something coming up in Houston, Texas. I know they did it last year. They may have another road show because March the 2nd, and you probably heard it in my announcements, they are going to have a big, for Women's International Month, we're doing a big show at the Doubletree Hotel, okay, in
Oh,
Miami, right by the
yes,
airport.
yeah, you mentioned that. I remember hearing that. Yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be a great show.
But they did have that here, I think last year, year before.
Yes,
I remember
they
seeing
did.
the big billboards and the women that
Yes.
were coming.
Exactly. But anyway, I know we're getting close to the end of our time on the show. So I hope this is not, this is not going to be the last. We definitely
No,
want to
absolutely
see
not.
Bella. We'd like her to be the mascot. And, as you keep progressing, we will have you back on the show. Okay. And I hope you do merchandise because Bella would just be great.
Thank you.
Besides
Yes.
And let me know if you come to Florida and you're going to do any book signing because I would love to be there with some of my girls.
What town are you in? Where are you?
I'm not too far from Adrian's in Boca. I'm in Boynton Beach.
Okay, because my mom's in St. Augustine and my sister's in.
Yeah, they're up west. Okay, they're on the west side. I'm on the east side. If you go to West Palm, if you come to West Palm, and then there's Boynton Beach, Delray, Boca. Then you start going Fort Lauderdale and Miami. So I'm right in that South Florida.
Okay. Yeah, because I did a book signing in West Palm Beach. I can't even remember the name of the bookstore now, but it was great.
Yeah, but if you do anything again, let me know because I'd love to be there. But I will get with Adrian. I know Adrian's going to love this. And we will be going live next Thursday. So I always take Adrian. She'll make sure she gets you the link on that.
Yeah.
But Zane, I want to thank you so much. This has been so refreshing. It was a pleasure to have you on the show. I love Abella. I'm going to keep looking at her on Facebook and wherever I can. And you have an open door to Make Our World Your Runway. And I hope we're going to see you with 100 successful women in business.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you very much. I enjoyed being on your show and enjoyed meeting you very much.
Yes, I enjoyed speaking with you and meeting with you. We have a lot in common. So let's stay in touch. I hope you're going to have a great weekend, a bright, happy new year, and we will definitely see you again.
All righty. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Bye now. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was a fabulous show. As I said, you can combine fantasy, beauty, and business. And next week, we're going to have something very special. Make Our World Your Runway is going to be on location this weekend. I am going to be hosting a bridal show for Bridal Guide. We've got a fabulous designer, Judith Barnes, for JB Couture. A lot of the pageant women and some of the top models in the world are going to be there. So stay tuned for that. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to Make Our World Your Runway. God bless you. Have a great, bright, and happy new year. Wonderful 2023. And we will see you again. Have a great weekend.